The night air in the city park was cool and carried the distant scent of exhaust and damp concrete. Alex Morgan stared at his own reflection in the still water of the park's shallow, reflecting pool. The water wasn't deep enough for what he'd fleetingly considered, and the thought shamed him. He was a man built for protection, not for drowning in self-pity. His shoulders, broad from years of disciplined training, slumped under an invisible weight. He had felt the stares at the bar earlier. The entire evening replayed in his mind on a cruel loop. He'd gone out with his closest friends, the guys he'd served alongside in private security, hoping for a normal night. But he'd brought his husband, Leo, and his boss, Marcus, with him. What was supposed to be an escape had turned into a spectacle. He remembered the way Marcus's hand had lingered on his shoulder a moment too long during a toast. The intense, unreadable look in his friend Ben's eyes when Ben clapped him on the back. Leo's serene smile as he watched it all, a smile that now felt like a mask. And then there were the words, the ghostly text that scrolled at the edge of his vision, comments from unseen spectators he desperately tried to ignore. They called him things he didn't understand, made claims about his friends that twisted his stomach. They spoke about him as if he were a character in some tawdry story, not a man with a real aching problem. A hard hand clamped on his shoulder, yanking him backward from the water's edge. He lost his balance, landing on the cool grass with a grunt. Ben's furious face filled his vision, haloed by a nearby street lamp. "Are you out of your mind?" Ben's voice was a ragged whisper, thick with an emotion Alex couldn't name. "Sitting by the water after all you drank? What were you thinking?" Alex pushed at the solid chest, pinning him down. The familiar scent of Ben's cologne mixed with night air and anxiety. "It's a foot deep, Ben. I wasn't going to do anything." "Don't," Ben growled, his body a tense weight. "Just don't." A strange silence stretched between them, filled only by their uneven breathing. Alex became acutely aware of their position, of the hard line of muscle against him. A flush crept up his neck. This had happened before, long ago, in shared quarters during their training days. Ben had always been physical. Alex had written it off as camaraderie, as the unself-conscious closeness of men who trusted each other with their lives. Now, the memory felt different, seen through the lens of those accusing, phantom words. Ben seemed to realize the intimacy of the moment too. He shifted, putting a sliver of space between them, his expression shifting from anger to something more complicated. "Alex, I need to tell you something. I felt this way for a long time, Ben." "Get off him." Leo's voice, usually so soft and melodic, was sharp as broken glass. Alex scrambled to his feet, brushing grass from his jeans, a familiar guilt flooding him. He hurried to Leo's side, searching his husband's face for anger, finding only a pale, strained concern. "It's not what it looks like," Alex started, the words feeling weak. Ben thought I was upset." Ben stood, his hands clenched into fists at his sides. A bitter laugh escaped him. "Of course you run to him. You never see it, do you? You never see what's right in front of you." "See what?" Alex asked, his voice weary. "Him." Ben jabbed a finger toward Leo. "Ask him about the nighttime protein shakes he makes you. The ones that knock you out like a light. Ask him how he knew so much about you before you even met at that bar. This wasn't some happy accident, Alex. He targeted you." The words landed like blows. Alex's gaze swung to Leo, who looked devastated, his eyes glistening in the low light. Leo reached for Alex's hand, his fingers cold. "Alex, please," Leo murmured, his voice trembling. "Let's go home. We can talk about this. It's a misunderstanding. Ben has never approved of me, of us." The conflict was a physical pain in Alex's chest. Ben was his brother in arms. Leo was his heart. He looked from one anguished face to the other, utterly lost. "Ben," Alex began, his voice hoarse. Maybe you should go. We'll talk tomorrow." Ben's face fell, a raw hurt flashing in his eyes before it was sealed behind a wall of stony resignation. He gave a sharp, curt nod, turned on his heel, and vanished into the shadows of the park. The drive home was silent. The sleek lines of the city blurred past the car windows, a stream of anonymous light. Alex kept his eyes forward, his mind churning. The protein shakes. He did sleep deeply after them, a profound, dreamless sleep he'd attributed to exhaustion and Leo's care. And their first meeting, Leo had approached him with a quiet certainty that had felt like fate at the time. Inside their condo, the door clicked shut, sealing them in the quiet, modern space. Before Alex could speak, Leo pushed him gently against the door, his body pressing close. His kiss was not its usual gentle exploration but a claiming, desperate thing. Alex melted into it, the confusion and fear momentarily swept away by the tide of familiar want. When they broke apart, breathless, Leo rested his forehead against Alex's. "If what he said is true," Leo whispered, his breath warm against Alex's lips. "If I did those things, what would you do?" Alex searched the deep brown eyes so close to his own. He saw love there, and a fear that mirrored his own. "I'd need to know why," he answered honestly. A visible relief washed over Leo. He took Alex's hand and led him down the hallway, not to their bedroom, but to a locked door Alex had always assumed was a storage closet. Leo produced a key and opened it. The room inside was not a closet. It was a small, meticulously organized study. One wall was lined not with books, but with medical texts, journals on endocrine health, and physical therapy manuals. A neat cabinet held vials of supplements, labeled in careful handwriting. On a desk lay diagrams of pressure points, notes on neuromuscular stimulation. "I was trying to help you," Leo said softly, running a finger along the spine of a thick textbook. "I was so afraid you'd reject the idea, that you'd see it as a reminder of your difficulty. I wanted to find a solution in secret to give you a gift." He turned, his expression open and vulnerable. "I have needs too, Alex. It's been hard, loving you so much and feeling so distant." He guided Alex to the desk, showing him the research. Notes on dietary adjustments to support circulation. Diagrams for targeted massage. References to low-impact therapies that showed promise. "And there has been progress," Leo said, a shy, genuine smile touching his lips. "Small signs. Your body is responding slowly. We just need more time." The knot in Alex's chest began to loosen. This was not the lair of a manipulator, but the workshop of a devoted partner. A partner who had taken his silent suffering and was trying to fix it, alone. "And before?" Alex asked, the other accusation lingering. "How did you know me?" Leo's gaze grew distant. "Years ago, I was working overseas. Some corporate rivals decided to exp a negotiation. They had me in a warehouse." He didn't elaborate on the details, but a shadow passed over his face. A man came in. He moved like a storm. He took them down before they even knew he was there. He carried me out. I never saw his face clearly in the dark, but I saw his eyes. I heard his voice when he told me to run. Alex's breath caught. A memory, old and buried under layers of more violent recollections, surfaced. A rainy night in a foreign industrial zone. A frantic extraction of a civilian caught in a bad situation. A slight figure with startlingly intelligent eyes, shrouded in a dark coat. "It was you," Alex breathed. Leo nodded, tears now freely tracking down his cheeks. "When I saw you again in that bar back home, I thought it was a miracle. I learned everything I could. I just wanted to be near the man who saved me." He stepped closer, wrapping his arms around Alex's waist. "Thank you," he whispered into Alex's shoulder, his voice thick. "For saving me then. For letting me save you now." The final fragments of Alex's doubt dissolved. He held Leo tightly, burying his face in the soft, familiar-smelling hair. This was real. This was his truth. A crisp, deliberate knock at the front door shattered the moment. Exchanging a look of confusion, Alex straightened his shirt and went to answer it. Marcus stood in the hallway, holding Alex's leather jacket. His boss looked impeccable, as always, but there was a tightness around his eyes. "You left this at the bar," Marcus said, his voice smooth. "I was concerned, given your early departure." His sharp gaze catalogued Alex's disheveled state, the faint redness on his lips, the open collar of his shirt. A flicker of something intense, something possessive, flashed in his eyes before it was banked behind professional courtesy. "My apologies if I'm interrupting." From down the hall, Leo's voice floated, light and deliberately casual. "Alex, honey, did the delivery arrive? I thought we were out of supplies." He appeared in the doorway of the study, wearing only one of Alex's old college sweatshirts, which hung loosely off one shoulder. He gave Marcus a politely surprised smile, making no move to cover the faint marks on his neck. Marcus's jaw tightened almost imperceptibly. The pleasant mask remained, but the temperature in the hallway seemed to drop. "I see you're occupied. I'll leave you to your evening." He handed Alex the jacket, his fingers brushing Alex's with a deliberate slowness, then turned and walked toward the elevators without a backward glance. Alex closed the door, locking it. He let out a long, slow breath, the tensions of the night finally ebbing. Leo walked over and leaned against him, a contented sigh escaping his lips. "Alex," he murmured, tracing patterns on Alex's chest. "Promise you'll always stay with me." "Always," Alex vowed, his voice rough with emotion. "And we won't let people who don't understand us come between us. Will we?" Leo's tone was gentle, persuasive. "People like Ben or Marcus, they just cause confusion." Alex thought of Ben's hurt eyes, of Marcus's calculating gaze. They brought chaos into the fragile peace he and Leo were rebuilding. "No," he agreed. "We won't." Leo smiled, a beautiful, radiant thing. He rose on his toes and kissed Alex's eyelids, one after the other. As Alex's eyes closed, Leo's hand slipped into his own pocket, his thumb finding the button on his phone to end a call that had been active for several minutes. The screen went dark. The city lights glittered silently beyond the floor-to-ceiling windows. Leo tangled his fingers with Alex's, pulling him gently toward their bedroom. His other hand drifted to the small of Alex's back, a familiar, soothing touch that now held a new weight of understanding and promise. "We have all the time we need now," Leo whispered, his voice a soft promise in the quiet room. "Let's not waste another second of it."